Here we are, Rob. It's Series 2, Episode 2, Modulate TV.
I know.
In the rain.
In the rain, in lovely February.
Isn't it a lovely February? No, it's not, is it?
Oh, it's all right, I guess.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's an awful February. It's the worst February I've ever had. We're in lockdown. It's raining. It's cold. It's miserable.
I know, but we've got some awesome music.
That's the one little bit of brightness, isn't it?
We've got some lovely people who send us some awesome tunes and creative performances. So that's the good thing. It's probably our best ever February for that, in fact.
Well, in that case, I'll bring the sunshine out for you, Rob.
Absolutely.
Because of that.
Well, Dave's brought the sunshine out later in his track. I mean,
Dave very much has brought the sunshine out. I'm not going to give too much away about that now. Has very much brought the sunshine out.
Bit of Californian sunshine for us.
He always brings the sunshine with him anyway.
Well, unless he's stealing synths in his Undertaker pose, but I mean, yeah. He does.
Dave's my little rare sunshine. You will love Dave's song later on. Anyway, We'll move on to that later. First off, right, Rob, you've done all the work on this again. So you've picked out some tunes from literally around the world.
Absolutely. So coming up tonight for you, we've got Ali Thynne from who's based in London. Our good friend Dave from Chester. Myself from good old North Wales, Colwyn Bay, and then we head across to Miami. I bet it's not this cold and wet in Miami, Jules.
I bet it isn't. I bet it's nowhere near as miserable as it is here over there. No, but it's beautiful.
But we've got Skarekrow, who's doing another set for us after last year, which is very exciting. And then Waxapul, who's from Liverpool, so not too far away, but he's making his debut on the show. So yeah, only 5, but 5 really good performances. So lots to look forward to.
Amazing performances, Rob. I mean, there's some long pieces in here as well, but there's some real journeys to be had in some of the music that's here tonight. I mean, amazing journeys.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's probably why we've gone for fewer kind of performances tonight, because I say 2 or 3 of them are a little bit longer, so give people time and space to just enjoy some of these longer performances. So yeah.
So what have we got coming up first then?
So we've got Ali Thynne from London, and he's got a patch for us, the title of which is called Something Like. So yeah, I reckon we have a listen and a bit of a chat about it afterwards.
I reckon you're right. Let's do that then. Okay, Sally and Something Like. Here we go. Wow. That was something like amazing. That was a really astonishing piece of music, Rob, wasn't it? I wrote down that was like a cinematic journey across space, that whole thing.
Yeah, I thought it was a great way to start the show, in terms of how his patch starts and evolves and builds throughout the patch.
Yeah.
So I often don't listen to the performances that much until the actual show, but this one caught me. So I've been listening to it a lot, and I think he was certainly looking to create some kind of distinct moods in the patch, but then kind of smooth out the transitions between them, so it kind of all evolves, and you don't kind of feel like there's a kind of a sudden transition from one piece to another. Everything just kind of gradually creeps up on you.
And it absolutely does. I mean, I was reading the notes that you passed across there as well. So he put in there that it sort of starts off like something calm and serene, then moves into something more like darkness and chaos, and then ends in something like triumph, which when I listened to it, having read those notes, it's exactly what it does. And I wrote down at 4:55, so I don't know whether you spotted it in there, so if you didn't, just rewind. But the beat that drops in at 4:55 is great, because it's a deep, unusual sort of beat that drops in there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it kind of just takes the track on a whole different level of energy when that comes in, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he did a. I first came across him. He's not one I've been following for ages on Instagram, but he did Jono's Modular World show.
Yeah.
And his performance on there was amazing. And literally, as I was still watching that performance, I was messaging him, going, "Hi, this is us," and just kind of kept chatting from there. And he was lucky enough that he wants to do something for the show as well. So
if people want to find out more and hear more of Ali's tunes, where can we go to try and dig some of that stuff out?
So he's still kind of developing his stuff. So at the moment, I think he's putting a lot of his back catalogue on YouTube. So if you search, we'll put the link in the description for his YouTube, and then he's got his Instagram account where you can follow him. So they're the two main places for him at the moment.
Okay, and the Instagram, I think, am I right in saying it's at ALIFINE?
That's right, yeah.
So Ali Thynne.
Ali Thynne, yes.
Okay. Okay. And as you say, you'll stick the links in below anyway.
We'll stick the links in the bio as always, yeah.
Superb. Amazing piece of music, and the first amazing piece of music we've had tonight. And honestly, if you love that, you're just going to love what's coming up for the rest of the night. There's some really just astonishing tunes coming up, including the one we've got coming up next. Now, this is a little bit different to the rest, because we've got a lot of modular pieces on tonight, haven't we? And Dave is very much more a traditional synthesizer guy. And when you watch the video, you'll see exactly this, because it's Dave doing what Dave does fantastically well, which is playing beautiful synthesizers.
Absolutely. And this is a exclusive track for us. So Dave's he's been, I guess, enjoying having Modulate TV as an outlet, because like all of us, he can't play live. So yes, he's done this one for us. So this is a track called West Coast Haze. A little bit of sunshine into your February with this track.
Should we spin that disc? It's Dave Julian, West Coast Haze. Wow, Dave Julian, West Coast Haze. That's just an astonishing piece of music, Rob, isn't it? I mean, it really does give. You do get that West Coast feel about it, that warm, sunny feel about it. We could be in where? Somewhere in Southern California.
Yeah, his notes for me was that it's dedicated to an idyllic impression I have of a hazy summer evening as the sun goes down behind the Pacific horizon, watching from the sandy shores and boardwalks of California, USA.
Well, I was imagining myself on the end of the new Colwyn Bay Pier, sipping a Long Island iced tea and with a bit of ice cream dribbled on my knee. But it was the same thing.
Very similar to the boardwalks of California and the new pier in Colwyn Bay. Absolutely.
Very similar indeed.
Absolutely.
But it is a beautiful piece of music. And I say it's Dave doing what Dave does best, playing fantastic synthesizers. And he has got just a great setup of gear, hasn't he? I mean, he really has got some great gear there. And he knows how to use it.
Yeah, his synth playing's great. And the Nord on this with that kind of those kind of Rhodes patches that he's using. And it's a bit of a homage, I guess, to kind of music that he kind of loves from the 70s and 80s. And it's kind of his take on that. And
yeah.
He's used some happy chords. I think, like you, Jules, I'm not a massive one for music theory, but the major sevenths with the occasional major fourths that give it a much lighter and uppy feel.
See, unfortunately, that's just straight over my head.
Me too.
But I liked it.
I knew it sounded happy and uplifting. But the thing I always loved, his drum programming is just second to none. It's always so clean and crisp and just there's no beat wasted by Dave. Everything has its place in the mix, and and
off that Dave Smith Tempest as well. It always sounds great off that as well.
It does, yeah. And on that, he's sequencing the boom star as well. So that lovely bass that kind of rolls along the background. He's on his on his boom star synth. So.
So what is that sequence from the Tempest? Is it?
Yeah, I think he's sequencing that from the Tempest. Yeah. So the boom stars. It's like a synth module. It's not got I don't think it's got a sequencer in it. So you'd sequence it from something else.
Right.
So this was a bass sound that he'd created especially for this track. So I know. I mean, it's always the thing with Dave, the amount of dedication and time he puts into getting every sound spot on and right, and it just comes through when you listen to it because it just sounds beautiful. And
well, it does, and I know particularly with this track, he really enjoyed doing it, and I think he felt quite euphoric after doing it because it is such a warm, upbeat, nice, great feeling track. It's a good feeling track. You know what I mean? It just gives you that good feeling.
No, totally. I when he sent it to me and he said, "Have a listen," and I listened to it on my proper speakers at home rather than just headphones, and I just messaged him straight away. I said, "This has just brought the most enormous grin to my face on a pretty shitty day, and this has just completely taken me away from all that and made me smile." And if your music can do that, then I can't think of a much better compliment to pay someone that they can totally remove you from what the rest of your day was like. So exactly. And his intention was to do something which felt like a West Coast Haze song, and it feels that. Yeah,
that's exactly what it does.
No, totally,
it's brilliant.
I think I said to him, I'd love to a double A side of this, a Neon Funk Child.
Yeah.
I mean, what a release that would make. Imagine that vinyl, one of those on either side.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I'd love that, wouldn't it?
That really would. Dave, beautiful piece of music as always. That was West Coast Haze. Now, again, if we want to listen to more of Dave's stuff, where can we find that from?
So he's got. I don't know if he's putting this one up on YouTube. I mean, a lot of his back catalogue is on. He's on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
He's got some stuff out there on Bandcamp as well. So.
So on SoundCloud, I actually found him this morning. So if you just do a search for Dave Julian on SoundCloud, you'll come straight to his channel on there. Yeah,
he's got some brilliant stuff on there. But he's started using Bandcamp more and more. So if you want to support him directly and buy some of his stuff, I don't know if he's putting this on there. I imagine. Well, I hope he does. But yeah, let's go.
Well, I tell you what. Well, let's travel from the sunny side to a little bit further to the dark side, Rob. We've got your song on next, which I love. But it is a very different side to the coin that we've just listened to.
It is.
I'll tell you what. Let's not even say any more about it. We'll talk about this afterwards, because this is quite a journey as well, and I know everybody's going to love this, and I don't want to preempt it too much, so I'm just going to let everybody listen first. So let's do that. This is Etchasketch Upside Down. We're going to talk to you straight after this. Wow, Etchasketch, upside down. That really was a very dark journey, Robert. You had a bad day that day?
I don't know if it's a bad day. I certainly found myself in a interesting place with the modular where, it just one of those patches that I explored quite a bit of this in January, where I kind of moved away from melody and more structured drums and just allowed myself to go, just to kind of go with the flow of where stuff was taking me. And the and the mimeophon in particular, which is the make noise delay module, and it's got a delay and reverb built in there. It can create these atmospheres and textures that just create these wonderful effects at the end of a patch. And yeah, this
Well,
was one of those.
atmosphere is probably exactly the right word to put on that, and it had a wonderful, sinister, evolving atmosphere around the whole thing. Which is, and we were just chatting as we were playing the song, just saying that this is right up my street as well. I love something that's a little bit edgy and puts me a little bit on edge, and I felt that all the way through this. I really enjoyed it, but there was loads of like, I mean. Obviously, from the title, we're kind of guessing this is very kind of Stranger Things inspired. And you were saying as well, this had a feel for the Upside Down for you, which exactly. So I wrote it down as I was listening to it. That's exactly the feel I got from this as well.
Yeah. So the synth. I mean, I've been obsessed with this kind of synth sounds from Stranger Things from when that came out. So yeah, the kind of the synth bit of the patch had that kind of feel, but. The kind of rhythm and the kind of drum hits, because they've got that delay and reverb on them. It just kind of created. It's quite hard putting effects on drums because if you put too much delay or reverb on them, they can just get a bit jumbled up. But because the drum pattern was quite sparse, it almost created these kind of off kilter rhythms because of the delay and the reverb on there, and the arbor, the granular synthesizers, kind of got some percussion that I recorded into it from like shakers and like a rain stick. So that's just triggering little bits of that. So there's some
right. I was going to ask about that because there was bits in there I couldn't work out if you were creating that sound or whether that was a sample that you were manipulating or what was going on.
Yeah, they're just like little shakers, and I've got like a rain stick, and the Arbor's got a condenser mic on the outside, so you can record. Built-in microphone, so you can just record from the atmosphere. So if you press record on it and hold a shaker close to it, or rain stick, or any percussion, or just click your fingers, then it'll record that into the buffer. And then when you trigger it, you can just trigger tiny little bits of those noises, but you can spread. It'll basically trigger a different place in that 10-second buffer each time it triggers. So you just get these little snippets of whatever sample you've put into there. So if you want to get these off,
and is it random? Does it pick a random point in that sample?
So it can be random, or you can control it, or you can isolate it to a bit, or you can make it long. I mean, Arbor's just brilliant for. I mean, it's not like a traditional sampler because it's just 10 seconds, but it's when you get these little fragments of sound, and like say if you set it on random, then you kind of know the 10 seconds has all got goodness in it because you've just put some like shaker noises and stuff into it. So yeah, but you just set it so it kind of scatters. Oh, I forgot what the knob's called now. Is it spread or something? So it'll each time it plays the sample, it'll just pick a different bit, and it's a cool module to look at. Because if you watch it, you can see that little bar that's moving across.
Yeah,
that's basically choosing where to play the little bits of the sample from. So yeah, lots of fun.
Well, I mean, the whole piece was just beautiful, and I mean, I like all your stuff anyway, but that is one of my favourites. It really is, because it was just really something I could listen to time and time again and find more and more different elements to it and different sides to it, really.
Yeah, it's like a partner piece to the one that was on last month, that house track. They both recorded at similar time. So, yeah, if you want to listen more, it's on Bandcamp. Carefully collated with my other January jams. So there's 6 tracks I did during January that were longer ones. So I kind of put all those on an EP. It's kind of free to download ones now.
So is Bandcamp the best place to look for stuff of yours?
Yeah, for that stuff, for my January stuff, the album's on there, 6 tracks on there. As I say, it's a free to download one, so just kind of go on there and have a listen.
Superb. And again, we'll stick some links below.
Yeah, cool.
Make sure everybody's got access to that. Superb song, Rob. As always, that was Etchasketch Upside Down. Moving on, this just gets better and better. Next up, this guy is astonishing, isn't he? Was it the last show he was on, or the show before? I can't remember now.
He was before Christmas. I think he wasn't the Christmas show. I think he was the one before that.
Was he?
Yeah, maybe October or November, but yeah, before Christmas.
So I don't know if anybody remembers, but it was Skarekrow, and we had on, and he did that amazing piece of music last time, didn't he, Rob? It was just astonishing.
Yes, with all like the tape rewinds on it, and it's like watching a hip hop DJ or something, but he was doing it all through modular synth.
And here again, he's put together an amazing. Well, it's actually 4 pieces of music, isn't it?
Yeah.
That he's put together.
Yeah.
In one.
Absolutely. It's just incredible.
Is there a name for this song? I haven't written one down actually. Perhaps I should have done.
No, he's got. I think the names of the tracks. So the 4 tracks, they're not released yet, but it's Mermaids, Consequence, Gin, and Vertical.
Right.
Are the 4 pieces. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and I think those are in the order that they're in. So I tell you what, why don't we listen, and then we can come back and we'll have a chat about this. What is an astonishing piece of music? This is Skarekrow. Please enjoy. Whoa, Skarekrow. How good was that, Rob?
I know. Well, he's one of my favourites. He's such a nice guy as well. Where's he go at the end though?
Well, we'll come on to that in a minute. But it's what a great. It's hard to know where to start with this really, because it's a great set of kit he's got there, but it isn't the kit. And we've said this time and time before that anybody can have a great piece of kit, but it's knowing how to use it. And you can have a simple piece of kit, and it's also knowing how to use that. So there's people who can get something amazing out of an ovation circuit, and just an ovation circuit. Yeah. It's the talent of the person using it. But the talent this guy's got, and he's using complex pieces of equipment with it, means that what he's pulling out of it is then just a wave of astonishing synthesis. It's just hard to put any more words around it, really.
Yeah, for this one, he's given us a bit of a window into the magic. So everything's hosted in Ableton. So it's an Ableton session that's, I guess, has got all the tracks in. All the drums and samples. He's got the Machine Plus, which I'm sure you.
Yeah, I spotted it was the Machine Plus.
Yeah,
yes, I did notice that.
Wasn't going to go unnoticed by Mr. Roberts, that one.
No.
So, but again, it's Ableton doing the sequencing of Machine.
Yeah.
But then the thing that brings it to life are the effects that he uses in the modular. So he's got the Prism, which is it's a filter that's got a freeze on it and kind of a glitchy filter basically. The Magneto, which is the thing he was doing, the kind of tape stops and the delays on.
Yeah.
Last time it's like a tape delay machine. But now he's got this performer module. So when he's kind of pressing stuff, there's this new module out that's got these effects in, but it's got like 4 arcade knobs. So you can trigger the effects manually with the arcade knobs. So if ever
were those the white knobs that lit up?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I'm not sure, but yeah, it's got kind of four kind of knobs on the front of the module.
Yeah.
So if ever a module was made for Skarekrow, it's that performer, because it just allows him to perform the effects, all like the stops and the little glitches, and the groove he gets is just so good.
Oh, it was just brilliant. And the way, I mean, again, that was 4 songs, but the way the songs evolved beautifully into each other, there was no, there was no, right, I'm going to stop that and start that. The whole thing just flowed one into the other. And it felt like a train journey to me. I wrote down as we were listening to it. It was literally like you'd stop at a station, right, 2 minutes 40, all change, right, we're off for a scary trip to the seaside. Now 6 minutes, all change, we're off for a nice funky ride to the seaside. And then about 12 minutes, all change, I'm getting off and leaving you on. And that's what he did at the end there, Rob. He got off the train and just left us on there on our own. But what a journey!
Just left us, just disappeared. Just vanished into thin air. It's another one that I think there's a beat that comes in after about 3 minutes, and it just like you say, it's transitions. It is like a hip hop DJ, but to achieve that on the modular, to go from track to track in such a creative way is so clever. But that beat that drops in just after 3 minutes is just absolutely
and it's
killer.
the first time I've seen somebody using Ableton Machiner and also the modular gear all together as well.
Yeah.
And that I don't use modular gear, so I don't know how hard that can be. But I think from what you've said before, Rob, that's not easy.
I think because he's using it for effects, I think the main sequencing is coming from Ableton. So I think it allows him the freedom then to kind of jam out and be creative with the transitions and with the effects and everything else. But he's another person who brings so much emotion to the music he does as well. I mean, the bit from 9 minutes onwards, I remember messaging him when I first listened to it, saying that's just totally got me. That bit at the end is just so good. And the energy he brings to it, and he's there dancing and grooving away on it, and just totally into it. It's just
that's awesome.
Just feel so lucky to kind of get a little slice of that, and Someone delivers that to you and says, "There you go, have that for the show." Like,
absolutely, and it's great to watch as well, and just see him actually working the pieces of equipment. And you can't see it in detail what he's doing now, but it's just great to see how that thing evolves live with him actually manipulating that gear.
No, totally. And no mass this time, and I asked him about that, kind of just why, because last time he had these kind of Scarecrow head, and there's no real deep explanation. It's just some tracks feel like a Scarecrow track, and some tracks he feels more like him. So he doesn't have the Scarecrow head on. So
that's fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like your mask, Rob, that you sometimes wear. It's a bit scary. Have you got it on tonight? Oh no, you haven't.
That's just when I'm not shaved.
So if anybody wants to listen to a bit more Scarecrow, where can we find some more of that?
So we can find more Scarecrow on. He's on Spotify and he's on Bandcamp. He's got loads of stuff on Bandcamp. He released some new stuff earlier this month. So head over to Skarekrow on Bandcamp. It's 2Ks, but we'll put the link in the description. He's super active on Instagram, so follow him on there. And he does TikTok as well. But he's a youngster, isn't he? So he's gonna.
Wow, that's it. Not like us, Rob. I'm sat here in my onesie, in my dressing gown, doing this.
I've seen you doing your dancing on TikTok, Mr. Roberts. when the sun comes out.
I forgot about that. Right, let's move on quickly. Skarekrow, that was amazing. Thank you very much indeed for that, all the way from Miami. Believe it or not, Rob, it's coming up to the last song.
I know. It's gone quick tonight, but
it has. But what a way to end the night!
Yes.
So this is, how do I pronounce this? Is this Waxapul?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, let's go with that. And Waxapul's from Liverpool.
Yes.
So I don't know anything more about Waxapul than that. So do you know who? Are we allowed to say who the person is?
He's called Paul, and he's been a musician for a long time. I've only got to know him through his kind of modular work on Instagram.
Right.
And yeah, just yet another one of those people who just consistently, day after day after day after day, was just putting stuff out on Instagram, and yeah, totally captured me. So yeah, started a conversation with him, and then finally that he's just across the water in Liverpool, and relatively close to us in terms of distance. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So asked me if fancy doing something. So he sent us this, which is called Spherical Prism. That's the name of the track.
It is indeed. Tell you what, should we have a listen?
Absolutely.
So this is Waxapul. Waxapul, Spherical Prism. That was Waxapul, Spherical Prism. Do you know what, Rob? I wish I'd been lying. If I could have listened to Dave's Summer Haze first, and then West Coast Haze, apologies, and then fallen asleep slightly for a few minutes. It's gone dark. I've woken up and I'm staring at the starry night sky with my headphones on. This is the song I would have wanted to wake up to, staring at that night sky. It would have been the perfect moment. I've suddenly woken up. Where am I? I'll just stare at that for 10 minutes, I think, and just listen to this. This is going to be a perfect moment.
Yeah, and he's big on the visuals. I mean, I think that's part of his, from what he kind of said, I think it's part of his work. He's doing a lot of work with kind of visuals, and I think he's done installations in art galleries and that kind of thing. So, the music and the visuals and the lighting, it all just comes together. Just comes together beautifully, doesn't he?
Well, it's just another one of those nice journeys. But when I was listening to it, it was something that I would want to listen probably on my own, and in somewhere where I can just look at things and kind of get lost in the moment of something. And the easiest way to do that is with a night sky, because you can just stare at that night sky. You can be anywhere in your own mind then. And this piece of music just reminded me of a moment like that. I was thinking, well, actually, I don't really want to be with anybody else. I just want to be on my own, thinking and listening to this beautiful piece of music and just let my mind wander wherever it wants to wander. And that's quite a thing for a piece of music to do to you.
There's quite a lot of people who are doing this kind of ambient music that's kind of got a bit of an edge and kind of darkness to it. And I like that. You can do pretty on the modular, and you can put nice effects on it, and it can sound lovely. But I love people like Paul, whose work they're not scared to put they're doing a bit of darkness into the patch, but it's still very musical, and it's still got that, like you say, still got that calming feel about it. But there are times where you're like, wow, where's this going to go? Is he going to kind of tip over the edge into just noise and distortion? But it never does. It just kind of comes back.
No, it just gently brings you back in again. Yeah, and it was nice that I like that ebb and flow.
Yeah.
Of the whole thing. A beautiful piece of music. So again, if people want to listen to more Waxapul, where do we find that? You were mentioning before as well, Rob, that there's some fantastic stuff on YouTube as well.
Yeah, so he's done stuff. I should know more about it. I don't, but he. I think he's got I did call it a laser harp or something. I think it's almost like a cross between a theremin and lasers, where he's kind of playing. Well, he's playing lasers. I don't know how better to... Me trying to explain this is not going to do justice to A, how it looks, and B, how amazing it sounds as well. It's all very well having the gimmick of, here I am playing a laser, blah, blah, blah. But he makes it sound utterly amazing as well, because he's a great musician. So that's all on his YouTube. And he's been recording loads and loads of stuff during January, and he enjoyed January so much that he decided to keep going into February and do a post every day. But because there wasn't an equivalent of January, he just invented his own name, so he's called it Feb Ambience. So he's
I like that.
I do too. So he's got a wealth of material. So he's got a release, which I think is also called Spherical Prism, going out on the 20th of February.
Right.
Is that the day before I think it is. So it'll be out.
I think it is, 21st is on the Sunday, so the 20th is Saturday,
So that's going on Bandcamp. He's got a new release to listen to. So check him out on there.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, again, another superb piece of music. What a lineup it's been tonight, Rob. Do you want to just talk us through what we've had tonight?
I will. So first of all, we had Ali with his journey through just wonderful modular patch of emotive sounding synths, and then just skittery beats, and as he describes it, that triumphant end where he kind of really euphoric sounding chords and melodies. So he kicked us off. We then had that exclusive from Dave Julian with his West Coast Haze,
which was lovely.
Just fantastic track. Myself, Etchasketch, with the track off the EP called Upside Down. Skarekrow,
superb song,
just kills it with his patches.
Scarekrow's astonishing.
He's just brilliant, super talented. And then Waxapul to finish us off, who we were just talking about. So Yeah.
That was quite a lineup.
Yeah, brilliant lineup.
That really was.
Loved it.
So, Rob, if anybody wants to get in touch and wants to talk about music or wants to talk about getting their music on or anything like that, how do they get in touch with you to chat about this stuff?
Well, I mean, chat to us on YouTube. Instagram's a really good place to get in touch as well. So most people, there's a link on there. So if you search for Modulate TV on Instagram, you can just message us on there, or message me as Etchasketch as well. So I think Instagram's where most people kind of get in touch. On the Facebook page, you can message on there. We're in a few different places. So yeah, just send us a message. Cool. And yeah, always keen to support more people. And yeah, if you've enjoyed the show and want to be part of it, it'd be great to hear from you.
Absolutely, and if you can, obviously money's tight for everybody at the moment, but if you can support any artists out there by looking at their Bandcamp and buying some of their Bandcamp stuff, fantastic. If you can't, please just enjoy their music anyway. We're all doing this for fun and for the enjoyment of it. But this is an inclusive community, and it would be great to listen to anybody's music. So if you're interested in doing stuff like this, do get in touch and just say hello. We're all very friendly people.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I think as well, just the people who watch this show and comment and engage in what we're doing, I think is really important for the artists too. I think it's so long since any of us have been able to play live that in some small way this has replaced that. You can put the effort into producing something, you make it look good, and in a way these online shows are now your audience. So just big thanks to everyone who comes along and listens and comments, because that makes a huge difference to the artist, because you're not going to get it any other way at the moment.
No.
So
exactly.
everyone who comes along and watches and supports it, thank you, because it really does make it for the people who put the music together.
Absolutely, and just a big thank you again to everybody who's put the music together tonight. So we know the amount of time and effort that goes into making these pieces of music, and there really was an astonishing array of music on there, yours included, Rob, which was a beautiful piece of music as well. And as always, Rob, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
It has. We've missed our partner in crime tonight, Mr. Garnett, but he's done a wonderful job editing as always. I mean, what you hear on this show tonight is probably at least 5 times as long as this sat on the cutting room floor of Matt's studio, where he's edited out our ramblings. So thanks Matt in advance for making us sound good. And we'll be back. I never know when the next show is going to be. I should really get more professional, shouldn't I?
In a couple of weeks, Rob. We'll just say
we'll be back sometime in March. It's generally a Sunday towards the end of the month. I know we've already got a few cracking things lined up for that one. So
that's exciting. Yeah, good stuff. Totally. All right, brilliant. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. As always, thanks, Rob, for putting everything together. Thanks, Matt, for editing everything together again. And we'll see you again soon. So from us, Series 2, Episode 3, it's good night.
Yeah, good night. Thanks, Jules. See you soon. Bye.
See you soon. Bye.